but when I was, like, watching the Smash Direct trailer, I was like, wait a second, this is like Sonic Forces. And that's kind of a bad thing. So, like, in Sonic Forces, all of the Sonic characters are prepared for Eggman, but he pulls out this, like, mega assault that defeats the heroes, except for, like, one hero who somehow you wouldn't believe he would survive, but he managed to survive. That's the trailer in, like, a nutshell. Like, everybody gets, like, it's like that scene from Infinity War, except for it's with hentai tentacles of light that sort of just melt the fighters to dust. It looks like it wasn't really killing them, but it looks like it was sort of just teleporting them. Because in one of the other parts of the trailer, it showed, like, the Mario trophy being copied by this liquid, and then a copy just forms under it, like the game over screen. But I feel like it isn't going to be that good, because it's like Sonic Forces. All of the heroes are ready to fight this force, but then the opposing side just destroys the heroes. But then one hero manages to save everybody else. And also, it's not like Subspace Emissary, because it looks like they're having a bunch of different levels and stuff. Like, it's like the Super Mario Bros. 3 level selection method, but with no custom levels like in Subspace Emissary. And I don't get why people are so excited that it's like the second Subspace, because the first one had so many problems. First of all, it's like the only way to unlock fighters at a fast pace. If you don't want to do a Subspace Emissary and Brawl, you have to farm for those other fighters. And it's like, what was even the point? And it looks like they took, like, stock photos for the spirits, and they were like, hey, these are your spirits. You remember that mechanic in, like, the Subspace Emissary, like the sticker editor where you collected stickers and you could, like, buff each fighter with additional buffs, like 35% fire damage resistance or something? It's kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie though, the cutscene looked pretty dope. Because it's like, you know, it did something that the first campaign didn't do, and it had the characters actually talk. Like, they actually interact with each other. And Emissary, everybody's silent. Like, I think there's maybe only one or two voice lines. Like, Hit says, like, one voice line. So, yeah. But they're pretty much reusing assets from Brawl. Like, they have the Piranha Plant fighter, and everybody's like, wait, how could this replace Waluigi? And I'll tell you why. He's the joke character. Everybody keeps on making, like, 9-minute long, 10-minute long videos about the significance of the Piranha Plant being in Smash. But, to simply put it, he's the joke character in the game. So in, like, the first Smash Brothers game, they had Jigglypuff as the joke character. Because Jigglypuff is, like, the worst Pokemon, have him fight. It's a balloon. They're having Jigglypuff fight against buff men like Captain Falcon and Deadly Warrior, like Samus. But it can just rest on people and cause explosions. Like, what? And of course, Kirby survives. Like, you know, Sakurai's Star Child is gonna get a lot of spotlight throughout the game. Like in Smash Bros. Brawl, there's that cutscene where, like, this really large platform is shooting at the halberd from a black hole. Then Kirby just is like, oh, I'm just gonna cut that in fucking half with the, I forgot what it's called. It's not really ringing a bell to me, but he just cuts it in half. I'm just telling you, Kirby is the manliest Nintendo character ever. Like, Mario has fought a magic dragon turtle. Link fought the embodiment of hate. And Kirby has fought, like, Planet Busters, the embodiment of evil in the entire universe, and like darkness itself. Like, Ganon is supposed to be like an incarnation of the Dark Lord Hades, I forget, but Kirby fought darkness itself, not like an incarnation and human-esque form, but like pure darkness. In like Kirby 64, he fights darkness that possesses people. And Link just and Kirby games are like the only Nintendo games where like the bosses bleed. Like, I think maybe Ganon you can technically say he bleeds a bit in his fight in 64. But it's not like actual blood, it's sort of like green pus that comes out of him. But in Kirby 64 and I forgot, like Kirby not Superstar, well, it's Kirby something 3, where he fights 0 and 02, and both of the bosses bleed. In fact, in 64, 02 wears a band-aid where the original boss sort of just gouged itself out and started to chase you while you're bleeding. Like, only Kirby games have blood in them. Like, yeah, Kirby has fought like reality benders, magicians. So yeah. And most of Kirby's feats make him like the most overpowered Nintendo character ever. He has survived black holes and has survived being put through faster than the speed of light feeds. Like, while he's on that star, he moves faster than the speed of light. That's how he was able to escape the hentai tentacles of light. Watch as the final boss is either like Thanos or Sakurai himself. Like, so far, like, if you watch Suck a Cock MatPat before, you'll know that, like, like, the first game is all about the fighters fighting the child's hand. Like, the master hand is the child. In the second game, there's the crazy hand where, like, the kid sort of matures a bit. and has gained sort of like a knack for destroying things. That's why Crazy Hand sort of just has those weird movements. And then in Smash Brawl, we encounter Taboo, where like the kid has matured to like 18 years old and is now realizing that his toys are sort of weird against society. So the Taboo is trying to stop them from expressing themselves by freeing them, which is sort of like the Lego movie, I might add. And then Smash 4 has like the final boss is the hand breaking and becoming the core, where basically it becomes these ferocious mental illusions, and then it becomes this ball which doesn't attack. Well, it does attack you, but you have to wait a really long time. But then in like Smash Ultimate, we see all these gloves, all of these master hands. Is that like a bunch of other kids in the core? Like we see this weird core thing with these spirals. Is that like Sakurai, like sort of controlling the hands? Like what is that supposed to mean? We don't see any crazy hands. So are those like the fans of Smash Bros? Like are those other kids that are being influenced by Sakurai or maybe Taboo, making them feel that society looks down on teenagers with toys? I don't know. Like, I have no clue, but that seems like, so it's either Sakurai or it's like the Taboo figure gaining more control on the Smash characters. Like, instead of just freezing them forever and like destroying everything, they're being converted into something they shouldn't be. They have those red eyes, which means they're all turned evil. So they're being corrupted against their original purpose for the most part, to have like this sort of so the core with the spirals is essentially a corporation, and the corporation sort of turns these characters into something they're not intended, and the hands are the fans being used against the characters to make them worse. Game theory, but yeah, that might be it. That might be the entire theme of the campaign mode. I don't think it's going to be that good because it looks like there isn't any custom levels. There's just those stages that you fight the red-eyed characters on. Like, I think it's pretty interesting. But the reason why people are comparing it to the first Subspace Emissary is because of the fact that they're having that one boss with like the monkey robot thing that transforms into that ship. But I think the only reason why people find the Subspace Emissary that cool, despite all of its problems, like being really long, having no really good cutscenes where you see like the characters interacting. Like there's some really good ones here and there, but meh. Like it's really cool to see a dynamic between Mario and Link where one of them thinks that Mario or Link is beating up the other princess, so they attack. They don't defend, they attack. But the cutscene was really promising because we actually saw the characters talking with each other and coordinating with each other. But it sort of has that Sonic Forces theme where one hero is going to lead a rebellion that fixes everything. But I think it's pretty decent. I'm glad they're focusing more on the actual gameplay for, like, 1v1s and stuff, instead of focusing mostly on the campaign mode. I feel like a lot of people are going to be disappointed that it isn't like Subspace Emissary. The only thing that's probably going to be similar is how the bosses are made, but it's looking like each of those levels are a different stage. And it's looking like maybe a 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour adventure to collect all the characters. I really hated how the original Subspace Emissary had Sonic so late in the story. Like, he sort of appears to fight Taboo, and I think you can only unlock him after Taboo, I think. Sonic had some good light in the first Subspace Emissary. Like, Taboo was about to activate his red ring of death attack, and then Sonic was just like, no. But Kirby had the best spotlight in the first one, and he's probably gonna have a better spotlight in this game as well. I'm kinda glad instead of the Twilight Princess Zelda, they use the Link Between Worlds Zelda to sort of differentiate the Zelda characters. I feel bad, though, for some people who preferred Twilight Princess Zelda. Maybe that's gonna be an Echo Fighter for her. Who knows? They're also adding back the Pokemon trainer dynamic. I don't get why they just don't make all of the Pokemon different characters or something. But you can play as a female Pokemon trainer. Play, quote, quote, play as one. Like, I mean, seriously. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm tempted to buy a Switch just to play Smash, maybe. Maybe. I didn't really I didn't like Brawl, but Smash 4, I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I had some fun here and there with, like, friends. Like, that's the main thing about Smash games. If you're alone, you're not going to have a lot of fun, but if you're with other people, you are. But yeah, I think everybody's gonna love how it's like Melee or it's faster or something. But everybody's gonna fucking be disappointed about the campaign mode not being like the Subspace Emissary. I could be wrong, but so far, like, you notice how the trailer has like just about everything. Like, all of the fighters are technically in the game. At least all of them that have been announced. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 secret fighters that you unlock that they don't mention. I like how they're including every fighter in every game. That's pretty dope. And they're also having like Echo Fighters. So there's like 140 characters. Essentially. I really wish this was the game that the Wii U came out with, but no. But honestly, Smash Bros. Is just a big advertisement. Like, nobody knew about Pit before, or Kid Icarus before Smash Brawl, but now everybody knows about it because of the Kid Icarus, like, inclusion. Like, they gave him a lot of spotlight in Brawl, and people were like, hey. Same for Fire Emblem. Melee had Mars and Roy, and some other person. I forgot his name. And people never knew about Fire Emblem until they put them in Smash. So it's just this big advertisement. Though it's pretty cool, like, seeing, like, 8 players being able to play as Pac-Man, Sonic. Like, you can only see that type of stuff in Smash. I wish the Wii U was better, though, because I would have just waited for, like, the Switch if I knew. The Wii U was so horrible. Oy.